On the phone with us, you know him from TV shows like Sex and the City and Northern Exposure, and of course, the movie My Big Fat Greek Wedding. He is one of the stars of the United States of Terra on Showtime. You guys are in your second season. He is John Corbett. John, how are you this morning?
Just call me Johnny the C.
Johnny the C. Do you realize
what is this? Wait a minute. What does the C stand for?
Johnny Corbett, man.
Okay. Because when people put the in front of it,
it does sound like a very derogatory
thing. Because we have a girl that we work with that we call her the C, but it means something different. Now she's looking at me all scary right now too.
John, do you realize how many people you inspired to get into radio with your work on Northern Exposure?
Oh, because of the old DJ work?
Chris, the DJ character on Northern Exposure, I cannot tell you how many people I've worked with over the years who are like, yeah, man, that guy, he's the epitome of what I want to be.
Oh, that's cool. That's very cool to hear.
You know, it made me want to get stoned all the time instead of actually getting into the radio.
You know, Chris wasn't really a stoner. Everybody thought he was, but he wasn't a stoner. He just liked to get drunk and ramble on about Carl Jung or somebody like that.
What is it like now to be doing things like when you did movies like My Big Fat Greek Wedding, like Sex and the City, like United States of Terror, where you're in more sort of, I guess, film-friendly hotspots, where when you were doing Northern Exposure, weren't you up in like a remote corner of Washington State?
We were and I lived there for 14 years. Believe it or not, the show started 20 years ago, 1990.
That's crazy.
I know. I was a little kid almost. And I moved to Seattle. I lived there until 2004. But we shot about 2 hours outside of, in a little town called Roslyn, about 2 hours outside of downtown Seattle. So, we'd get out there and go over the mountain pass and get snowed in, and I'd have to do 1 day's work, but I'd be in this little log cabin for 4 days. And look, I hated it at the time because I was 30 and I owned a nightclub in downtown Seattle, and I wanted to get back there and rock and roll on a Saturday and not be stuck in the log cabin. But now looking back, it was a nice, quiet, romantic time with myself.
Now, John, I got to bring this up. I was looking around yesterday, and I happened upon a site, PerezHilton.com. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but apparently Perez calls you a liar because of the new Sex and the City movie 2 that's coming out, and you said that you weren't going to be in it. He said you're going to be in it. Do you care to comment on whether or not you're going to be in it or not?
Do you care to comment on being called a liar?
Yes.
Yeah, there are all these reports that I was in Morocco this past summer shooting, I guess it was maybe the winter, shooting Sex and the City 2, and they asked me if I was 100% going to be in it or not, and I said there's a 100% chance that I won't be in it. And if I were going to be in it, do you think SJP, Sarah Jessica Parker, whose birthday it is today, by the way, 45 years old.
Well, happy birthday to the SJP. If
they went to all that trouble to make sure that no one knew I was in the movie, would I be allowed to say I was in the movie? I think not.
He conveniently left that out of the
liar.
He conveniently left that part out of the article or the blog.
Yeah. So even if I were in this movie, I doubt if I would probably be allowed to talk about it if they were trying to keep it hush hush. Wink, wink.
We're talking to John Corbett. The new show is called The United States of Terror. And we'll get into that in a minute. I got to know, though, because in 2006, when you released your album, your self-titled album, I was actually hosting the acoustic Sunday morning show here. And I used to play that track Good to Go occasionally. Are you still at it with music, or is that like a one-time you got it out of your system kind of thing?
No, man. We just played this. What we do now is I don't try to get on the radio anymore because I don't have a new record out, but
right.
We play about 150 shows a year. I just this past Saturday, we did a couple shows out in Phoenix, and one of the cool shows we played. I go to this event every year for the champ, Muhammad Ali.
Mm-hmm.
He has a big fundraiser for Parkinson's, and Glenn Fry was the big featured guest this year. It was Bon Jovi last year, and they asked us to play the after party this year. So we did about a 4-hour set till about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Whoa!
For, about 700 people after the show.
A 4-hour set?
We got a 4-hour set, man.
Was that like, how many songs? Was that like 3?
That's probably
4?
about 45 songs.
Just jamming. Just keep going.
But you know what, Salt, in the middle, he just breaks down and he brings a bunch of children on stage and they just start chanting Ali Boumaye over and over again. All right.
And that's no breaks either, man. That is no bathroom breaks. So I tell the boys, take it easy on the beer, man, because there's no bathroom breaks tonight, bros.
John, tell me a little bit about the new show, United States of Terror. You guys are going into the second season. It's a show that no matter, it seems like almost universally, no matter where you are reading about it, you're reading good things.
Critically acclaimed, yes.
Old Steven Spielberg came up with this idea about 3 years ago, and for a woman with multiple personalities, and he was working with Showtime, and he hired Diablo Cody to write it even before the movie Juno came out, you know, and all those good things happened for her. He knew she was the right one for the show, and man, they cast Toni Collette as the lady with the multiple personalities. She plays my wife, and we had our first season last year, and she scored this year. She won the Golden Globe and the Emmy for Best Actress in a comedy series, stolen off Tina Fey, and it's just one of those top shelf projects that, you know, when you're an actor and you watch these kind of shows, you just wish you were on one. And man, it happened. I got to be on this thing. Anyway, she's got about 5 personalities that live inside her, and we have 2 teenagers. I play her husband, and she's got everything from an infant to a teenage girl to a beer drinking truck driver from Vietnam.
Which one is your favorite personality to be around?
I like the last one, old Buck, the Vietnam vet, who had his junk blown off in Nam, so that's why he doesn't have any junk. But he's a full-blown truck driving dude, and he goes out and, you know, he tries to pick up the ladies, and he's a pretty smooth talker, this old Buck.
When you researched for this part, how did you go about it? I mean, how did you try and just get around just different types of women or people with actual personality disorders?
I just got some home movies of the ex-wife out.
He's John Corbett from...
That's all I needed to do.
He's John Corbett from United States of Terror, Monday nights on Showtime. John, I would love for this interview to continue, but for some reason I'm having a craving for riblets. It has been a true pleasure, sir.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.